Good morning, Gary. I'm Stacy Lee with Apple Valley News Now, Tri-Cities, Washington. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you, Stacy Lee?
Really, really good. So, of course, we're doing this interview, and this is Faith Martin's hometown, home neck of the woods. I have to preface this interview and let you know that Faith and I have been friends for 23 years. So I've known her for quite a long time. We did radio together for many years. And so we've been really following this journey and has been very exciting to watch. And a lot of folks are very excited in our hometown. We've been doing a viewing party and it's been very, very popular. So with that said, I asked our viewers last week at our viewing party to give me some questions to ask you today. So these are all viewer questions for you, if that's okay.
Sure.
All right, let's start with this one. Vicky wrote in and says, did you get to pick all the women on the first rose selection, or was that influenced by the show, or did you actually get to pick?
No, in each of the rose ceremonies, I was completely free to choose who I wanted. There were times when I may have looked at someone and thought that I didn't want them to continue, and the producers would simply say, "You don't know their whole story yet. Maybe they would be a good person to save." But that was as far as the influence went.
Okay, good to know. Next question from Abby. She says, did you know about the drama in the house? And if so, would that have influenced your decisions?
I was well informed on the drama in the house. I feel like it was actually overblown. And no, it didn't really influence my decision at all. I think, in an environment like that, it's inevitable that there is a little friction. And it was just two people that were speaking a different language to each other.
There you go. Well, lots of comments, and I know that I read the forums as well, and it is entertaining to see the good and the bad, right? This person, Linda, asks, how could you say you love so many women? What were you looking for?
That's a good question, and it's legit. In the moment with each of these women, I had built such a strong connection that I felt like fully that I was in love with them, that I loved them at that time. It's important to remember, though, that through the course of the journey, as it got towards the end, I finally found the clarity with those women to find the one that I couldn't live without. And in Faith's case, a perfect example, I still love her to pieces. We still talk, and she's talked to me. And I mean, she puts a smile on my face, as you can see. Um, but I don't think she was the right one for me.
Got it. All right. Here's from Lydia. She wants to know, do you wish Joan would have stayed?
Um, I do, but quite honestly, fate has a weird way of working its magic in people's lives, and it's probably best that she didn't stay or she didn't come back. Um, it is one of those things that you always kind of wonder what would have been, but you know, it's the way it goes.
Yeah, it's all about timing. All right, couple of questions from Lisa. She says, what was the most important in deciding who would be the best partner for you? Was it willing to move, morals, personality, physical attraction, or all of the above?
That's really all of the above and so much more. Personality traits that I feel the most comfortable with is, a sense of humor, the ability to be my equal, um, knowing when to push back on me, uh, being the good team partner. All of those things blend into it, in addition to all the things you mentioned. So, you have to put it together, and you try to be as intellectual as you can, but in the end, it's your heart that has to make the decision.
There you go. All right, here's from Robin. She says, what was the deciding factor that made you choose Teresa over Faith?
I think the last answer probably is appropriate here as well.
Okay.
There's a sense of humor, a kindness that they both had. Of all the women in the house, probably those two were the most similar in their personalities, in their outlook on life, in their kindness. And so it was very difficult. It was very difficult.
I bet. And our local viewers here want to know, did you enjoy your visit to Eastern Washington?
Yeah, I loved it. It was beautiful. I loved the space. I really loved the time with Faith at her ranch, doing a little horseback riding and seeing how she lived and so forth. So yeah, it's beautiful there.
All right. Of course, I know you're going to get asked this question a lot. Do you think Faith should be the next Golden Bachelorette?
Oh, she would be such a wonderful candidate for that job. Um, and I got to be honest, there are a number of the women who would do a very good job at it as well. I can't really say my favorites. There's people a lot smarter than me that will be able to pick, who the best candidates are, but certainly Faith would be among them.
There you go. My husband wanted me to ask you, do you feel that you found true love through the journey on the show?
You tell your husband he asks really good questions. and and yes, I do. I really believe I found my person, my right person.
That's great. All right. And the last question, my mother comes to the viewing party, Gerry, and she said, if it doesn't work out, can we date? Call me. And that's just a joke. So she's in her 70s too. So it's been great, Gerry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, if she's as beautiful as you are, I'll keep the option open.
Well, it's been great getting everyone together. And what really impressed me and surprised me is a lot of men are really liking this show. So what do you think? How does that, what do you feel about that?
Well, I think it's not gender specific. When people of our age realize that there's hope and that we are an influence in life, we're not invisible, that guys can enjoy it just as much as the women can.
Well, thank you, Gerry. Good luck. We'll be watching, and thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you. I appreciate this.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye now.